Paulo Dybala scores the winner for Juventus past Hugo Lloris. Photo, Reuters. Tottenham Hotspur crashed out of the Champions League with precisely 2 minutes and 49 seconds of madness against Juventus. Cruising, a goal up, and heading to the quarter-finals, Spurs conceded 2 goals in that brief time to Juventus's first 2 efforts on target and were left shell-shocked and desperate. Tottenham Hotspur's Christian Eriksen speaks with referee Simon Marciniak. Photo, John Walton, PA wire for Mauricio Pochettino and his vibrant young team. This was a severe blow and a lesson. But it was also an indictment that they could not see this tie out, even though they were facing last year's finalists and the Serie A champions. They conceded twice in the opening 9 minutes of the first leg and, apart from those periods, dominated Juventus. But that is not good enough. Not at this level, and they only have themselves to blame. Even then there was late drama as a Harry Kane header beat goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon and struck a post, but was hooked off the goal line by Andrea Barzagli before substitute Eric Lamela could nudge it over the goal line. Spurs were that close to extra time. Slowly Tottenham's Son Heung-min in action with Juventus's Blaise Matuidi and Giorgio Chiellini. Photo, Reuters. John Sibley. As slowly as Spurs had started in Turin, they were fast here. They were also reckless, or, at least Jan Vertonghen was, as he dived in on Douglas Costa, bringing the Juventus winger down. Remarkably, a penalty was not given by Polish referee Simon Marciniak, and Juventus reacted with furious disbelief as they crowded around him. The assistant behind the goal and the assistant running the line, whose side it occurred on, did not react. The Italians had cut through Spurs on that occasion, starting at left back with Alexandro, who found Miralem Pjanic. The midfielder released the fit again Paulo Dybala, and suddenly Costa had turned Vertonghen. It was a let-off for Spurs, who had 2 less clear-cut penalty claims of their own, as the ball struck an arm of Mehdi Benatia and then, later, Giorgio Chiellini. And there was a third as Benatia grabbed Vertonghen's shirt from a corner. It was clear why Son Heung-min had been selected ahead of Lamela, who had played in the first leg. Son's directness and eye for goal were evident as he latched onto Kane's pass, pushed the ball ahead of Barzagli and struck a fierce cross shot that Buffon did well to turn away. Juventus were playing with a 3-man defense, which meant Barzagli, at 36, was deployed on the right, and Pochettino identified that as an area to attack. But it was from the other flank, with a clever reverse pass by Dele Alli, that Kane was presented with his first opportunity. He brushed against Chiellini, rounded Buffon, but then struck his shot into the side netting. The angle was tight. Spurs came close again when Son headed goalwards, only for Buffon to punch clear, and both sides continued to push. Costa had already sent in an in-swinging cross which just skimmed over the head of Gonzalo Higuain. Spurs were bidding to reach the last 8 for the first time since 2011, when they were beaten by Real Madrid, with Pochettino continuing to stand anxiously on the edge of his technical area, as did Juventus coach Massimiliano Allegri. It was feisty. Sandro and Vertonghen were cautioned for late tackles, and Barzagli escaped punishment for stepping on Son's calf. Soon after, Son surely had to score as he was sent through by Ben Davies, and as Chiellini backed off, the goal beckoned, only for him to drag his shot wide. Then Son made amends. Spurs broke again, and, as Barzagli slid in to block Alli, the ball fell to Kieran Trippier, who crossed low for Son to sweep his shot past Buffon. Son was fortunate. The ball struck his standing leg, which fooled Buffon, who went to ground. The goal also meant Juventus had to score twice, and they almost responded when Pjanic was teed up, only for him to shoot wide. Juventus continued to harangue the referee at halftime, and that penalty incident had been pivotal and unsettled them. Spurs sensed more goals and Juventus became even more rugged. The caution count rose, with Chiellini taking out Alli and Pjanic clashing, and, on the touchline, the 2 managers getting involved before half chances fell to Son, who again beat Barzagli and Kane. Finally an opportunity fell to Juventus, with Davinson Sanchez only hooking a clearance to Dybala, who hit his half-volley wide. The Argentine should have done better. Higuain did. He silenced the Spurs fans, momentarily, as substitute Stefan Lichtsteiner clipped in a right-wing cross that Sami Khedira headed on for Higuain to ghost in and steer his volley past Hugo Lloris from close range. Remarkably, Juventus struck again. A Spurs defense that had seemed so secure was carved open as Higuain simply turned and slid a pass through to Dybala. For some reason, Trippier had failed to track the run and desperately appealed for offside, but Dybala continued on before lifting his left foot shot smartly beyond Lloris. Juventus had turned this tie around and Pochettino puffed out his cheeks in disbelief. He looked as bewildered as his team. The introduction of Lichtsteiner had changed everything for Juventus. His Spurs were left reeling, needing to score to force extra time. Finally, they pulled themselves together as Eriksen's shot deflected narrowly wide and Son's shot past a post. Then there was the agony of Kane's header in the final moments. Tottenham were down. Tottenham were out. Irish Independent.